Turn that volume up. You know you want it. It's time for Women's Basketball TV with former NCAA champion, WNBA champion, business mogul, and national TV personality, Fran Harris.
A'ja Wilson is a generational talent. We have no one like her in the WNBA.
Bringing you entertaining, on-point analysis.
Did LSU just win the national championship?
Tea and inside scoop on the sport you love.
NIL is going crazy. All I'm saying is if they're making $5 million as a student athlete, can't they pay for their own college? I mean, I'm just asking. It's just a question.
Let's get it.
Hey, Hoop fam, do not adjust your YouTube. Don't adjust your TV. Don't adjust your phone. It's me. I'm just not wearing a baseball cap or my big bun today because I just came from a memorial. I am not overdressed for my basketball videos, but if I am, you know what? That's my business too. But I just came back from a memorial of Yvonne Hill Adams, who was a former NCAA women's basketball player at Texas A&M University and very much beloved by her Texas A&M University family, but also in Austin, where we both lived. She was an executive of diversity and inclusion and equity executive at St. Stephen's School here in Austin. And literally the memorial today was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. The words that people spoke reflective of how we all felt about Yvonne. So I just wanted to share that with y'all so that y'all can be in prayer, since y'all love women's basketball, and prayer and thoughts for Yvonne Adams' family as they go through this really difficult time. But I coached Yvonne on her AAU team. We're 4 years apart, so I was old enough to be her coach while she was in high school, when I was coaching at St. Stephen's, where she actually ended up being a coach and then a diversity inclusion officer. And so I got to know her through that process over the last 30 years and have just, fallen in love with her like everybody else is falling in love with her. So I know the Texas A&M family is feeling it right now. St. Stephen's family is feeling it. The Austin community is feeling it. And our prayers and thoughts are with Yvonne's family. So we're going to do a quick little roundup. This video is about what's happening with women's basketball, what's happened over the last week. So this is our women's basketball, women's hoop roundup. We're going to talk about some of the players that people are not talking about. And top of my list is going to be Aneesah. Say it with me, y'all. Aneesah Morrow. Aneesah Morrow for LSU. The Tigers getting down, making it do what it do. She is playing extremely well. And here's the thing. Y'all, she's been doing that all season. Transfer from DePaul, averaging right now 18 points, a little over 8.9 rebounds. So she's getting it done on both ends of the court, offensive boards, cleaning up the glass defensively, offensively, playing defense. Here's what I dig about Aneesah Morrow. Number one, came in, blinders on, not getting distracted by all the drama, not getting distracted by NIL, which I'm sure her NIL quotient is going up. It's going out the window because she's been the most consistent player for LSU. She's been the steadiest player from LSU. She's been the most dangerous player. You can talk about Haley Van Lith. You can talk about Angel Reese. You can talk about Flau'jae Johnson. You can talk about Michaela Williams. I can go on. But none of those players, with the exception maybe Michaela Williams, none of those players have played as steady and consistently as Aneesah Morrow. Again, she brings a little bit of maturity, right? She brings a lot of maturity. She's second team All-American last year, transfer. She ain't playing. She's not coming here to try to prove a point. She's coming in here to get this team to the next level. She's been very unapologetic about taking this team back to the Final Four. And what I dig most about her is that it's a business trip mentality from the start. It's a business trip. Me transferring from DePaul to here is a business trip. It's a business trip. I'm coming for rings and things and blings and back to the Final Four. I'm not here to play with y'all. I'm not here to be distracted. I'm not here to get caught up in the drama. You can see that. Breaking down her game, nice mid-range game. What makes her really difficult and dangerous is that she can take you off the bounce. She can take you off the bounce, elevate, shoot that little 15 to 7 foot shot. Not a tremendous three-point shooter, but the ability to get to the basket because of her frame, she can absorb the contact and really make it happen. She can finish around the rim. She's a decent passer. So she's got all the tangibles and the intangibles to elevate LSU. And I know that Kim Mulkey despite whatever she said about who they need and all that stuff. And she's also said that about Aneesa. Like, I'm not even surprised by what Aneesa Morrow is doing. I am pleasantly pleased with what Aneesa Morrow is doing, because I know as a player on a team like that, highly talented, highly touted, you can get lost in the shuffle. You can get lost in the shuffle on the court. You can get lost in the shuffle of all the extracurricular stuff that's happening with your team. And Aneesa Morrow has kept her nose to the grindstone and has never failed to show up in a game. And because she's so multidimensional, even if she's not having a great scoring night, which is rarely, even if she's not having a great scoring night, she's still doing it on the board. She's still doing it on the defensive end. She's still doing it on the passion and the heat perspective of bringing it to the game. She's there for her teammates. Great teammate from what I can see. So Aneesa Morrow is the X factor for LSU right now. Yes, Angel is back. Almost had a double-double the other night. Good. That would be good. But Aneesa Morrow was doing this before Angel got back, while Angel was there at the beginning. And if Angel should leave again, she has that mentality. It's all business. So shout out to Aneesa Morrow. I want to give her flowers. Let's talk a little bit about what teams are doing in NCAA, since this is our roundup of what's happening in women's basketball over the past week. So when I look at points per game, who y'all think's got the most points per game? Of course, we got Caitlin Clark at number one, averaging 29.6. Juju Watkins with 26.8. Lucy Olson, I haven't seen Villanova play. I haven't seen Nova play yet, 24.8. Madison Connor, I've seen at TCU. That's near my hometown of Dallas. I've seen them play a couple of times. And she's a really good scorer, a good two-way player. Hannah Hidalgo, which y'all saw. If you haven't seen the video that I did about the top four freshmen in the NCAA women's basketball arena right now, you need to check that video out. It's pretty spectacular to look at Juju Watkins and the other top freshmen in the country right now. Let's talk about, I don't know why I took these glasses off like I can see without them. Let's talk about points per game for teams. So points per game per team, Utah at the top, averaging 100 points. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen Utah. Utah is one of the teams that people are saying might get to the Final Four, and I'm one of those people. I'm one of the people in that people group that Utah, if things go well, get the right draw, continue to play, could be in the Final Four in 2024. But they're averaging 100 points. Murray State, 94.7. I don't know much about Murray State. I'll have to get up to date on them. Michigan State, 94.6. South Carolina, 94.5, LSU, 93.8, Baylor, 92, Texas, 91.8. Shout out to my Texas Longhorn football team for winning the Big 12 today, beating the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Notre Dame, 91.6, UCLA, 91.2 points per game, and rounding out the top 10, Iowa, 90.2. By the way, if you're doing the math, Caitlin scores a third of Iowa's points. She averages almost 30, a third of Iowa's points. Okay, cool. Next thing we're going to talk about scoring defense. Scoring defense at the top. I don't know why I keep taking these glasses off like I see without them. At the top of scoring defense mean the teams that hold other teams to the lowest points. At the top is my girl, Delisha Milton. Y'all might remember Delisha Milton. Delisha Milton played on both Lakers, not the Lakers. Who am I thinking of? Sparks, dadgummit, the Sparks, 2 championship teams in the WNBA. She is the head coach at the Old Dominion University, and shout out to Delisha and her husband, Roland, who used to be roommates with my brother, Chris, in Texas when they were in college playing ball. But shout out to them. They are holding opponents to 45.7 points per game. Delisha, y'all making these people play some ugly basketball. If you're holding people to 45.7 points, that's some ugly basketball. Shout out to y'all. Congratulations on that. Georgetown, 46.6. Washington, 46. Minnesota, 48. Why is that? Okay, right. Minnesota, 48. Texas, yeah. Listen, whoever said that in my chat, like, oh, I see you're a fan of LSU. I'm a women's basketball fan. I'm a fangirl. I'm a fangirl on the teams that are doing something well. So you may see me fangirl over LSU. You may see me fangirl over South Carolina. You dang sure gonna see me fangirl over Texas because that's my hood. That's my home school. But I digress. Colorado, 50. Texas, as I said, number 5, 49. Manhattan, 50. Texas A&M, 50.3. South Carolina, 50.3. And rounding out the top 10 of scoring defense, Drexel. Haven't had a chance to check out Drexel yet. Let's talk a little bit more before I close out about what's happening in women's basketball this week. As y'all saw, Angel Reese came back. Angel Reese is back. Did a good little press conference saying that she needed a reset. She needed a break. Everybody needs that occasionally in their lives, and certainly athletes who are always have the cameras on them. So Angel Reese back in the fold for LSU. Kim Mulkey got her 700th victory as a coach, the fastest coach to get to 700. That's a lot of games, Kim Mulkey. That's a lot of games, Kim Mulkey. So Kim Mulkey got there. Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks remain undefeated, beating North Carolina in Chapel Hill a few nights ago. So women's basketball is starting to talk. We're starting to talk a lot more about parity in women's basketball because everything's not so predictable. I'm going to share with you guys in a video coming up soon, maybe not today, but maybe before the week is over, next week is over, the site of the 2023 women's basketball Final Four. I was there. It was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So when I talk about the roundup of women's basketball, I talk about that was the most unpredictable. Certainly nobody predicted a Final Four with South Carolina, Iowa, Virginia Tech, and LSU. Oh, we all predicted South Carolina. They were undefeated at that point. We all knew Donnie was going to get back there. But these other three people, these other three teams, nobody thought they were going to make it to the Final Four. Seriously. And they had to beat out some people to get there. So a lot of folks thought, okay, so women's basketball, you got to have the best four teams. You got to have the teams that everybody, the usual suspects that everybody thinks is going to be in the Final Four for it to be a great Final Four. There were over 19,000 people in Dallas for the Final Four. And I'm not into a personal hand count, but I'm telling you, Iowa had about a fourth of those people. As y'all know, Iowa is right up I-35 to Dallas. It's like, it was almost like the Final Four was in Iowa. That's how many Iowans were at the Final Four last year. So what does that have to do with us rounding up right now about what happened in the past 4 weeks of women's basketball, and even more importantly, the last week? When you start to look at the parity in women's basketball, you can start to see some of the same trends that we saw last year. What we didn't see last year, as it relates to the teams who are winning, is that we didn't see this many upsets early in the season. We didn't see some of these superstars, especially from a freshman standpoint and from a transfer standpoint, who were literally just soaring and taking off with their teams. We didn't see true huge standouts like the Anissa Morrows of the league. And somebody mentioned to me earlier, and I'm going to find her name because I got to check her out. She plays at Arkansas, Talia Scott. Thank you for pointing her out. That's what I want y'all to do. Like, hey, what about this person? You talking about this person? What about this person? Let's have a conversation. Talia Scott at Arkansas is averaging 23 points per game. And I'm going to do a video on her because I got a chance to see some of her highlights after this person kind of mentioned it to me. And I'm like, yo, she's good. She's really good. So we're going to start bringing you some of the unheralded players as well. We always talk about Caitlin Clark. We always talk about Angel Reese. We're always talking about all these other people, but there are some players who are playing on these teams and maybe some in mid-major markets like Arkansas State and Arkansas and those where we're not talking about them, and we're missing the opportunity to talk about some greatness happening in some of these other places. So I'm gonna keep this video short, do another roundup every week, maybe on Saturday or Sunday of the week after, and we'll just keep it going from there, guys. Thank you. If you like this content, be sure to like, share, comment, all that good stuff, and subscribe. Not charging for the content, but feeding the algorithm ain't gonna make nobody upset. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
Thanks for tuning in to Women's Basketball TV with Fran Harris, the most provocative and entertaining women's basketball show on earth. Be sure to click that like, share, and notification button so you don't miss a moment. We'll see you tomorrow.